how do I want to lead this in? Let's talk about Jay-Z being Jay-Z on a corny album and probably boosting the album's success based off his 4-minute verse. Let's talk about that.
I wouldn't necessarily say the album is corny. The person that is behind the album comes off very corny at times. But I'm not going to just sit out there and just call the album corny, though. I'm not going to do that.
Well, I mean, it ain't moved me because I know the formula by now, so maybe that's why I'm being biased. But I respect that. But you're right about the person, 100% about the person.
He's corny, but I wouldn't say he's actually he's really good at marketing. I'll give him that much. But,
genius at that.
Like I said, he had a deal with Weight Watchers and didn't lose 1 pound,
and it worked. Did commercials and everything, and it worked.
God did.
But
yeah, if that's nothing, if that's not God working in his life to be able to have an endorsement deal from Weight Watchers and not lose any weight and still get paid, that is God moving in his life.
Yeah.
Man. So
considering he doesn't move, that's all good.
Jay's on the record.
Oh, he moved. Did you not see him dance in front of Timbaland with the air horn and all that stuff? Oh, that's
corny.
That was amazing. That was amazing.
Hey, what you say, Lone? That's good content.
It was hilarious.
So let's talk about this verse, man, on the title track God did. I believe it had Ross started it, Wayne was second, and then Hov pretty much just spazzed for about 4 minutes on the clock. Don't do that. I think it was about 4 minutes is what they timed. I could be wrong. I didn't count the bars or whatever. But I saw interviews where Khaled was saying this is the greatest Jay-Z verse ever.
Did he say that?
Yes.
All right.
And
what was he gonna say, man?
Gas.
He gassed up the verse prior to it coming out, and I'm seeing on my timeline, I got homies that I respect their music opinions. Talking about, I don't know, Mike, man, he blacked out for 4 minutes, man. This might be that one. I'm like, I don't know.
You outside of yourself if you really think this is Jay's best verse. I'm gonna just say
it's low key disrespectful to Jay to be like, okay, this is the coldest verse just because he rapped long. I've had this conversation with people that I respect their opinion. So I've heard some that say it's disrespectful, and I've heard some say, man, I don't know. In terms of it being his best verse. You just ain't listening
well enough if you think that this is his best verse.
Did anything? But we were talking about it off cam. There were some moments that stuck, that.
I mean, he went
stood
off.
out to you though, right? He went off. He still went off.
I mean, Jay-Z did what Jay-Z does.
Right.
He double and tripled entendre that mug up. So if you listen to it for face value, it may not make a lot of sense, or you may have caught one thing. But if you listen to it again and again, you're gonna start picking up different things. And it's not that he went off on this 𝗡𝗲𝗄 fiasco, mathematical algorithm, rhyme. You know what I'm saying? It's cut and dry right in front of you. It's just Jay-Z is just very good at what he does. He makes it sound easy, and he does it like flawlessly, essentially. So him rapping 4 minutes straight, hitting you up with entendres and dope lines and things of that nature, and talking about having money that we all don't have, it just sounded good. And I think a lot of the lure of the track was that it's Jay-Z on a Khaled album with a whole bunch of features from a bunch of rappers who aren't Jay-Z.
I think that's the draw to the album, period. Is that
I wouldn't, for us it is.
I'm looking for the whole verse is what I'm looking for.
We are, but you got to understand, we are not the majority right now.
That's fair.
So
that's fair.
What I'm speaking from is us being the people who aren't the majority right now are more so happy that Hov is being credited, or Jay-Z, with the best verse on this album amongst all the other people, the Littles and this, that, and the other.
Right.
And Nardo Wicks and things that the younger cats listen to, because they're listening to the album based on that, and Lotto and things like that. They're not listening to it for a Jay-Z verse.
I'm not mad at that. I just sonically it's a worn out approach to me. And that just might come with my age. And
you say that every time Khaled drops an album, but he's still going to keep dropping the album, whether you think it's wore out or not.
It don't bother me. I ain't nothing I can do about him dropping albums, but I'm just giving my opinion.
Another thing that was kind of, to me, in my personal opinion, there's a Dr. Dre beat on here, which is essentially just a remix of the song that was on Kanye's album, and it features Kanye. I think Eminem is on that one.
Yes, sir.
I mean, if that's what you want to call it, a Dre beat. I felt like I already heard this song before, though, because it was on Kanye's album. Dre just added a little extra sauce, definitely, into it. It made it sound like, and put his, his producer stamp on it. But to me, that didn't really jump out at me as.
It was mid to me. Like Dre didn't enhance it to make me be like, oh man, crazy for the remix. It just, like, I saw the video of him in the studio. He was playing the beat. Kanye was rocking out, going crazy. I'm like, this is not it. Y'all still legends.
Yeah, my guy in the chat, he just said, well, Hitman said he thought Wayne's verse was better.
I've heard that.
I'm not going to say Wayne's verse was better. The thing about Wayne, people get excited about Wayne because Wayne has not, like, album-wise.
Yeah.
You can't sit up and tell me that Wayne's last couple albums have been the Wayne of past. And when he drops a feature here lately, he's sounding better and sounding more like himself. So people are liking that Wayne is actually getting back into his bag. But I don't say that makes him sound better than Jay.
Did you hear Wayne talk about what we talked about when he talked about his influence? When he talked about all the kids? Spot on. It's spot on with what we talked about. He knows that all these kids look like him right now. You know, Wayne been rapping since he was 14?
Something like that.
That's crazy.
But again, what does people looking like him have anything to do with his sound?
No, I'm talking with his impact. It can be beyond sound to me. From a look, from an aesthetic, a swag, a vibe.
But I'm speaking about specifically you saying that people look like him.
Yeah, he's influential.
But what
100%.
does that have to do about the sound, though?
You don't think there's people out here that try to sound like Wayne, young Wayne, old Wayne as well?
Is that what I'm saying, though?
You said the sound.
No, what I'm saying is, what does the fact that people look like Wayne have to do with the fact that people sound like Wayne?
I'm saying those can be two separate things, is what I'm saying. I'm saying his influence on hip hop can be seen throughout all of these kids that are out here now based off them growing up, either liking him, listening to him, and looking at that.
All right, so
that's what I'm saying. I think you can separate the two.
Which I am, but you keep coming back to the fact that people look like him, which is why I keep bringing it up.
No, I feel you, but I mean, he said it. You know, he said it in the verse.
Doesn't mean that. Look, man.
He said it. I ain't say it.
So if I'm influenced by some random person and I change my appearance, that means that I sound like somebody, though?
No, man.
Exactly.
You can separate the two, though. Impact don't look like Impact is not the same all the way around.
You keep making my point, though. Never mind. Hey, never mind. It's all good.
Cut it out, man.
Never mind.
Either way, I thought that was dope that he said that. What you think about the verse?
Whose verse?
Jay.
Jay's verse was cool.
Fair enough.
Sounded like Terry said. I listened to it right before we came on, but it sounded like a Jay-Z verse. You know, like Jay doesn't really miss in these type of big moments. You know what he's going to come through and he's going to deliver, and he did. I skipped past Wayne's because I didn't like the little vibrato auto-tune thing that was going on with him. I like Wayne when Wayne raps just Wayne's voice and he's just rapping. I'll skip all this stuff every time he's got all this vibrato, this turned all the way up on the auto-tune stuff. I'm just not a fan of that personally.
I can dig it.
But Wayne has been snapping. Just that wasn't my thing.
Yeah, Wayne has been flashing here lately, in my personal opinion. Yeah, album wise, it's last couple. I'm not albums, feeling like he did drop a mixtape like 2 years ago, I think, that featured his kids on it. His kids were on separate songs,
right?
And that was actually a good mixtape in my personal opinion. But album wise, I don't think I honestly don't. I can't name any singles off any of these latest albums.
When's the last time you think Wayne flashed for you on a project?
He's been flashing on all the features here lately.
I'm talking about like one of his quote unquote
his
studio
last album.
Yeah,
like that I really felt
that remix of Special Delivery.
Man,
like the Carter.
People will be mad at me.
What? How far are you gonna go back?
When Wayne was really snapping.
Yeah.
Probably No Ceilings. And that was a mixtape.
A while back.
Yeah.
What you think, Jay?
Somebody in chat say Funeral. I did. Wayne has verses and he has times where he goes in a little bit. But as an album overall, Funeral didn't do it for me, man.
It was cool.
No, it wasn't.
I thought it was cool. It wasn't. I ain't gonna give him trash.
When's the last time you listened to The Funeral?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
that's the point right there.
Yeah, that's the point. I can't argue with that. Yeah, I can't argue with that. What you think, Jay? Talk to me about Jay and his verse.
Look, I've been listening to Jay, like seriously listening to Jay since '95. All right, and when I listened to this verse, like I thought it was dope, but I also listened to Jay Electronica's a written testimony. That was in heavy rotation for me.
That was
for
good.
A while, and you gotta understand, like to me, that's a Jay-Z album featuring Jay Electronica, and Jay-Z snapped on that album.
Yeah.
He got off
all the way through it.
Yeah.
He was giving you those when people were like, man, I wish Jay-Z would just do it like this. Like that's what he gave you in that album.
Yeah.
And then like I listened to Reasonable Doubt. over the weekend, just because I keep old albums in rotation. That's what I do because I'm a new old head.
One of my favorites.
And, you know, like when you listen to how he's rapping on that, I was like, look, I don't know why y'all are so, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like what this is. And of course it's also impressive because here it is, Jay being 52 years old.
Right.
Being such a veteran of the game and feeling like, okay, I'm going to rise to the occasion and let y'all know. Because the thing is, like, I liked Wayne's verse. I thought it was dope. And, you know, I'm somebody that's extremely critical of Lil Wayne. But like I said, when I think it was maybe about a year ago, I said, look, Lil Wayne on these features, because first of all, I don't hear the drug addiction in his voice like at one point I did.
That's tough.
You know, like when I heard like what he did on AZ's album, which y'all should definitely go back and revisit if you haven't already done so.
Good project.
You know, I was like, oh, he's giving it to him. But then like I felt Rick Ross did what he needed to do.
I think Rick Ross is almost getting left out.
Yeah, people
Like,
are not
people ain't even
talking
mentioning him.
about, you know, maybe it's because he went first, and maybe it's because Jay-Z gave him four minutes of straight bars. But
It's a tough spot with him.
I mean, it's kind of like the song when Big Sean dropped the song where Kendrick went off at the end of it.
True.
yeah,
Nobody remembers the rest of that song.
Nobody even remembers that Jay Electronica was on that show when we was on that song when we was waiting for Jay Electronica verses.
That's a good point.
Control, right?
Control, yeah.
Yeah, Kendrick stole the whole show on Control. Good
Hold
point.
on. Slander on the timeline I just seen.
What happened?
Jay-Z hasn't had a good album since Blueprint. Come on now.
Where we at? Who
was that? Well, you know what? Let's
Hood
not put him on.
Hitman 702.
Okay, we appreciate you. We appreciate you.
Jay-Z
don't know.
hasn't had
No,
a good
that's
album
ignorant.
since
444.
2001.
Come on,
that
man.
Means that means we'd be skipping over 44 and
we gonna
American
skip
Gangster.
American Gangster.
The Black Album. We're gonna skip over
Yeah,
that.
come on now.
Wow.
No, I don't agree with that.
Yeah,
fam.
I
I'm
mean,
sorry, fam.
that's very
that
provocative
is
to speak right
I don't
there.
even know it's
That's a
Hitman.
What
I
is
can't,
that?
Hitman, I can't rock with you
Wrong.
on that one.
Yeah.
Hitman, I can't rock with you on that one. We appreciate
No,
you, but,
sir.
Yeah.
There's too much.
You're telling us that Funeral is better than everything that Jay-Z dropped after the Blueprint?
I need to say. I hope we get a comment on that one.
No, sir.
no.
Nah, you can't just off.
We
the
can
bat-
have a whole segment on the goodness that Jay-Z has done since the Blueprint.
the goodness.
I mean, yeah, because it's been 22 years? That's right. September 11th.
American Gangster consist amongst people that I know. I ain't gonna put it on the masses. Consistently gets underappreciated, and why I don't
That's
know.
very much appreciated album because you know
I don't know why.
It came after Kingdom Come, which was a bit of a stumble, even though there's some joints on there I like. But
Nah, Kingdom Come wasn't it.
Kingdom Come was that wasn't no.
He had about 4 on that album, if I remember.
You know, but you could tell he just was not. He was doing other things, and he was like, all right, I guess I'll put out an album.
I mean, the Blueprint 3 has filler, but it's got heat also.
It does, but that tour, if you've seen the tour, it made it make sense.
Okay.
He actually toured with Jeezy
and Trey Songz was the opener.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not going for it. He ain't been good since Blueprint.
Yeah, that's
That means
tough.
he just
Because
been
if we
wasting-
talking about flashing on features, Jay has definitely been doing that for the past 20
Look,
years.
when you think about Three Kings, when you think about I Got the Key, the stuff he does, whenever he shows up on a DJ Khaled album,
Oh, he show out. Yeah, he shows out.
you know, I don't know what their relationship is to where he makes sure to put in work on a DJ Khaled album, but he does it.
Like you said, crazy marketing. Let's see. So
he don't charge for the feature.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
Levski said Kingdom Come will be appreciated after he's long gone.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a just trash album.
It wasn't trash.
But it just wasn't the Jay-Z that we wanted to hear.
Not when you come
After
in,
leaving, you left on the Black album.
you left on the Black album.
What were the records? Let's see. Show me
Show me what you got.
got.
Lost One.
Lost
Yeah,
Ones
Lost
was
Ones.
dope. 30's a new no.
That wasn't dope. Dig a Hole.
Dig a
Hollywood.
Hole.
Dig a Hole
Anything
was
with
cool.
Usher. Like there's about 4 songs in a row that are just not good at all.
Lost Ones is
Beach
one of my
Chair-
favorites.
Come was hard.
Beach
though.
Chair is a record. Oh yeah, Kingdom Come. That was Just Blaze Showdown on that.
Yeah.
But I mean, and I used to go back and forth with Jay Brookins about this because I love the song Beach Chair, the very last song on that album. He was like, nah, that ain't it.
It's
Once again, yeah, an album that
not memorable.
Jay-Z, like when he ranks his album, he puts Kingdom Come at the bottom.
Y'all.
Ain't no telling where life will be.
It's like Magna Carta. Magna Carta doesn't rank high on my list. It's cool. Got some heat.
Is that the one with him and Kanye?
No, that's you talking
That's
about
Watch the Throne. Watch the Throne was good.
Yeah, Magna Carta's the one where he had
Justin
Mess
Timberlake.
With Me, You Know I Got It. Like he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
trying.
Rick Ross.
The whole thing smacked.
A lot of people like that album.
Picasso Baby was cold.
Their records
Picasso
on there
was good.
Yeah, that was good.
That was
but
cold.
So was what was that one song?
The whole thing smacked of effort.
Ocean's 11, or was that on King?
No, you're right. You're right. I
Watch the
can't remember
Throne?
if that's the title or not. I think you're right.
Ocean's 11 was the name of it,
I
but
think
I
that's
don't know.
Magna Carta.
I remember
Is
that
it
was
on
the first one where, like,
okay.
if you had like a Samsung Note 4 or something,
You automatically had that one.
You know.
He
Good
went
marketing.
platinum the first day.
yeah, you just had to have the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. So he chimed in. Hitman says, "My bad. Black Album is the last good album he made." Hey, he's had Magna Carta, Blueprint 3, 444 are nowhere near that. Okay.
I mean, the Black Album was just such a dope way to bow and retire.
I believed it
at
too.
the end of the day.
If he'd retired,
Yeah, if he had retired.
Yeah.
But I think 444 is good grown man hip hop.
I'm not mad at that.
Magna Carta Holy Grail was
he was chasing. He was chasing radio records.
yeah, it had a couple on there, but Blueprint 3 was too long. Or was that Blueprint 2? No, Blueprint 2 should have been condensed. Blueprint 3 was cool if you've seen the tour, but it wasn't a terrible album though.
Yeah, if they trim Blueprint 2 down, probably
They actually did.
six
They
or
did.
eight
It
records.
changed to Blueprint 2.1. Put it on one disc.
They trimmed that down, and you might have had something. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right, thanks for the clarification, Hood Hit man. We appreciate you. 702.